Working only 1 hour and being considered employed. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we're going to have a look at this analysis from ABC discussing, well, the 1 hour a week requirement to be considered employed as per the Australian Bureau of Statistics, which, I'm sure interests you as much as it does me because, I don't know, 1 hour a week, which, sounds pretty good. I would be happy to only work 1 hour a week and be able to, support my family and grow my my quality of life, but somehow I don't think that's gonna happen. So before we get through this, let's jump over here and have a look at the unemployment rate. You can see there it peaked and it's coming right back down just under 5.5%. And if we jump over here, there's also, this is the ABS data. There's also the Roy Morgan approach. Now they have a different methodology in how they collect the data and the interview process they use. So they come up with a different figure. What's important is to look at both of them and to see if they're both going in the same direction, because then the trends are generally good. Roy Morgan, their unemployment rate right now is sitting at 9%. You generally double the ABS figures. Underemployment, and this is the one that's really worrying, it's people that are working but aren't getting enough hours. They're sitting at 9.3. So combined, you've got about 20%, 18.3% of those people who are engaged in the workforce, looking for work or working, either unemployed or not getting enough hours. So let's look at this 1 hour a week, everyone, because you tell me, is 1 hour a week enough for you? So, did you know you're counted as employed if you work 1 hour a week? When you first hear that, it can sound shocking. Well, it definitely can. It can make you suspect the government is manipulating the unemployment data to make the labor market appear in better health than it is. But let me explain why it's not a problem. It's a perfectly logical definition for employed. Then, after I'm done with that, let me show you some ways in which you can be led astray by the government. It regards the unemployment rate itself, the 1 hour rule. So, when the Bureau of Statistics takes its monthly survey of the labor force, it's trying to find out how many people are employed, who are employed, and what type of jobs they have. But it has to start somewhere. So it starts by asking if you worked 1 hour or more a week in the past week. Why? Because it needs to know if you have a job before it can ask you questions about that job. Was it full-time, part-time, or casual? Once the ABC knows you have a job, it will ask if you are satisfied with the hours you're working or if you'd like more hours. If you'd like more hours, that's how the ABS knows you're underemployed. ABS, not ABC. Okay, if you want more hours. Underemployment is a problem in the economy. It's a sign the economy isn't working at full potential and workers could be getting paid less than what they need to survive. However, this next bit is important. You're only underemployed if you want to be working more hours but can't get them. That's the same thing with, if only they would realize that this is why there's a gender earnings gap. There's only an earnings gap if you want to earn more, if you want to put the extra hour and become a sycophant and jump through all the hoops you need to earn extra money in the corporate world. You're considered fully employed if you're satisfied with the hours you're working and don't want any more. Someone who's only working 1 hour a week can be fully employed. If they're happy with the arrangement and don't want more hours, they're satisfied with their work situation. Also, it's important to know the definition of employed as working 1 hour or more in the past week is not the ABS's definition. It's the internationally recognized definition set by the International Labour Organization, ILO, a United Nations agency decades ago. There are 187 member countries in the ILO, and they all use the same definition of employed. It helps countries like Australia to compare their employment data internationally. So what type of person would be fully employed while only working 1 hour a week? Civil servants? Politicians, perhaps? Working 1 hour a week could actually be the dream if you think about it. Imagine being in the position where you owned your own business. No, okay, someone, yeah, I mean, perhaps this is just from an ABC journalist perspective. Owning your own business is never going to be 1 hour a week. The revenue was pouring in, and you only had to log into your computer for 1 hour a week to check your accounts to ensure everything is running smoothly. Maybe if you had an online business. Then you could go back to playing golf or whatever you love doing. Or think of another situation. Perhaps your partner's working for a full-time job, so your household has a regular income, and you have a little job on the side that provides a bit of extra money. You're happy with the arrangement, and you don't want more hours. Who are these people who are happy working 1 hour a week? According to the ABS, roughly 15,700 people in Australia only work 1 hour a week on average. That's around 0.1% of all employed people. They are predominantly female, aged 55 and over, and run their own businesses or working in the family business. And guess how many are satisfied with their hours? Roughly 72%, 11,000 people. Nearly 3/4 of the people who work 1 hour a week are fully employed. Just over a quarter of the people working 1 hour a week, 4,400, would like more hours and are therefore underemployed. There you go. Here's the number of people working these hours each week. So 11,000, 2 hours, 19. Wow, look how many are fully employed here. I mean, 9 hours a week. All of this is nothing. 9 hours a week. That's 1 day. 1 day is 9 hours, isn't it? See the chart above. It shows the amount of underemployment among people who work between 1 and 9 hours a week. Here's how to read it. There were 26,700 people working 3 hours a week last year who were fully employed. And there were 20,100 people working 3 hours a week who were underemployed. Notice how underemployment is a bigger problem for people working more than 1 hour a week. One genuine confusing example of unemployment statistics. Now let's look at a bit where the government can mislead you. See the graph below? I'll show you how it works. So labor force framework, civilian population 15 years over. There's those who are in the labor force who are employed and unemployed, and those not in the labor force. Okay. It shows a simple model of the labor force framework. It's what Treasury officials, the RBA, ABS statisticians, and economists use to find the unemployment rate. First, the ABS find out how many people are 15 years of age or older. They comprise the civilian population or working age population. Then the ABS find out how many are in the labor force. You're in the labor force if you have a job, you're employed. If you're actively looking for work but have not yet found a job, yet unemployed. In March, there were 13.8 million with change of people in the labor force. Economists think of the labor force as the supply of labor. Over on the right-hand side of the graph is all those people who aren't economically active. You can be in this group for heaps of reasons. You could be retired, permanently unable to work, a full-time carer, a stay-at-home parent, studying full-time, traveling in prison, or in a contemplative religious order. Or maybe you've become so discouraged by the depressing job search that you've given up looking for work. In March, there were 6.9 million people in this group. Economists think of this group as the potential supply of labor because some of the people in it could potentially join the labor force in the future. So how to work out the unemployment rate? Now, when the ABS works out the unemployment rate, it excludes from its calculations all those people on the right-hand side of the graph not in the labor force. Strange, huh? Well, not really, not if you're familiar with it. It means nearly 7 million people who aren't economically active aren't included in the unemployment rate. But here's how to find out the unemployment rate. Take the number of people who are unemployed and divide it by the number of people in the labor force, and then multiply it by 100 to turn it into a percentage. In March, there were 789,900 people considered officially unemployed. The labor force size was 13.8 million, so therefore you divide 789 by 13.8 million. Times it by 100, and you get the unemployment rate of 5.7%. You can experiment with different numbers in the different bubbles to see how they affect the unemployment rate. But remember, here's the trick to remember. Just because the unemployment rate goes down doesn't mean the economy is improving. Well, yeah, people could be giving up looking for work, so they're not in the labor force anymore. That's the biggest risk of youth unemployment. If you've got scarring occurring in the economy and the young people just leave and never come back in. Imagine a situation in which the economy is in such dire straits that millions of people leave the labour force and join the not in the labour force group, leaving just 1,000 people in the labour force. 10 officially unemployed people and 990 employed people. In that scenario, the unemployment rate would be 1%, but it wouldn't be a good thing. Your economy would have collapsed. This is where you have the population participation rate. What happened to the unemployment rate last month? Last month's unemployment data was the first month to capture most of the effects of the end of the JobKeeper wage subsidy in March. Here's what happened. In April, the size of the labour force actually shrank by 64,000 people, and the size of the economically inactive group, not in the labour force, swelled by 108,000. This means lots of people shifted from the left-hand side of the labour force model to the right-hand side of the model, where they're no longer counted in the unemployment rate. Also in April, the number of employed people fell by 30,600, while the number of officially unemployed people fell by 33,700. What happened to the unemployment rate? Since the size of the labour force shrank by thousands and the number of unemployed people also shrank, but a smaller amount than the unemployment rate actually fell from 5.7 to 5.5%. So was it a good thing? It's more complicated than it appears. Well, yeah, the problem is people are leaving the workforce. Maybe they're getting frustrated. Maybe they don't have the skills that match the jobs that are out there. Economists say it was a better outcome than feared. A few months ago, Treasury officials feared that the end of the JobKeeper program could see 100 to 150,000 people lose their jobs. So the number of employed people only falling by 35,600 last month is a welcome outcome. However, the fact that the not in the labour force group swelled by 108,100 people is a genuine concern. Why? Because they've joined the ranks of people who are now hidden from the unemployment rate. So there we go, everyone. I think that's a very, very good overview of what's going on here. Well, what's the solution, guys? What's the solution? Because it's going to be used for political propaganda. That's just how it is. Well, I think there needs to be more reporting on the underemployment rate here in the media, and there needs to be a clear understanding of the participation rate. We need to be talking about the participation rate, how many people are in the workforce, and it needs to be highlighted every month how many people are leaving the workforce. How many people have been hardened against it, have just given up. What do you reckon? I think it's going to be tough, guys. The media will just jump on it. The politicians love it. It's like the auction clearance rates. It's the same thing. It's the headline. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. You can use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Buy a merch at HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.